today we are playing Flick of Faith, which is probably my favourite dexterity game, and I say that not being a huge fan of the genre, and that's not taking anything away from the game. I think a lot of dexterity games are really fun, but often I find for me, I played them for 5-10 minutes and I'm like, okay, I get what they're doing, I get what the challenge is, I've had fun doing it, and now I'm kind of like, and I'm done. Because this game has that dexterity element, but also has like an area control where you're flicking wooden discs on a neoprene mat, there's a little bit more to it and it keeps me engaged and hooked, and I really find it fun. I thought I would invite two people who are pretty integral to the show, and they're not the only ones who are integral to the show, but I've invited them here, and I've got Louie and Niall, who are two RMIT volunteers who, without them, we could not make the show. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here and helping out. So you also do your own show, which we'll talk about in a second. But before we start, and I guess Louie, you can start. That's the thing. You're playing as gods. You're influencing the this map of the world by flicking your prophets and creating temples. We each have different powers. Mine's Ra, which means I get a Sphinx as a slightly bigger token to flick. Zeus.
Yeah, so I'm Zeus, so when I build a temple on an island, I can go anywhere I want.
Which will matter later.
Yeah, I got this guy called Tyr. I'm not sure I pronounce it. I don't think I pronounced that right. Which means if I use my weak hand, which for everyone at home, that's my left hand. I'm a typical right-handed person. If I flick it and it lands on one of these islands, I get to flick it again using the same hand.
So we're playing over 3 rounds, flicking our disc. If you land a disc in the circle, you get to remove that and add a temple, which stays between rounds. You're trying to get the most on each of the islands. There's also some cards that change up the rules. While we start, and Louie can kick us off, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say holy games, which is if you push another player's profit, so just off the map, you get an extra victory point, so you're encouraged to do that. Start us off, and can you guys tell me, RMITV, what is it? What do you guys? Why are you guys involved?
Ooh. Well, that sucked. I think you can start, Louie. Oh, you next?
No, we'll go around.
Yeah, so RMITV is obviously a community television organisation, so it's pretty much taking people's show concepts, ideas, passions, and then turning it into television for Channel 31, for web content, and it's mostly student-driven. So it's mostly RMIT students, obviously.
Yeah, you're on the island, so if you can do another flick if you want.
Ooh. Which is a really, really great opportunity for specifically people studying media at RMIT to get to experience the studios and the environment and what that looks like in slightly more of a commercial context.
Well, because reality is the studios here are world-class art. You know what was not world-class is that flick.
That was not. Look, it was my weak hand. It was my weak hand.
Yeah. So you've been involved in a lot of different RMIT productions, so you've been a lot of different, helping out in different ways, so learning new skills, meeting new people, which is exciting. You've also decided to, after doing all that, is take on your own show. Can you tell me about that?
Oh, well, Louie's the producer, so he can tell you all about it.
So that show actually literally came about because we had just finished our season run of another show, and it was simultaneously the worst show we've ever worked on and also like my favorite. Because of just...
Come on!
Well, how many do-overs are we going to give you?
Fuck it. I'll just say I did it badly, he's there.
But we just loved working with that group of people so much that we just thought we really want to have our own thing to be able to bring all of our friends together pretty much. And it started off as this really, really tiny D&D show idea, and then it kind of evolved from that. To collaborating with the Melbourne Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers League, and then going into virtual studio.
It's an actual play show, by the way.
It's a Dungeons & Dragons actual play show that's in
the elevator virtually.
That's in a virtual environment powered by Unreal Engine. It's just kind of evolved and grown, and now obviously we've got these amazing collaborators with the Melbourne Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers League, who are helping provide content. They're building gorgeous miniature sets.
Yeah, they're the talent as well.
They're the talent, they paint the minis, and they're playing modules that community members have written or themselves have written in some cases, which has been incredible. And also we're working with a lot of of new technologies for RMITV being used in this way, because it's a live stream, because we're doing so much live graphics to show spell slots, to show health bars. So many live graphics, and as well, obviously, with all the virtuals, being able to showcase, you know, live camera tracking on a green screen, which is not something that is really done live in this sort of context, because it's really difficult and the equipment is really, really expensive. And I'm really, really proud that we get to showcase that in a live stream context for RMITV.
And keep lifting it to new heights.
Yeah. I really enjoy showing up to the studio every week and always having something new to add, something to change every week.
Oh yeah, you enjoy it.
So I guess that also is, you have the element of you doing a live show. Sorry, this one, that one was on the temple spot, so you take that away and you can put a temple on any island you want.
Hey.
I am gonna flick over here.
What?
Oh. not quite enough.
Not get a whole lot anywhere. No. Okay, I think I have one more.
So I guess doing that live show is you have the challenges of a live show.
What was the point of that?
It's still on the island. But then you also have the technical challenge of doing in the virtual studio as well. So how does that two things combine together?
Oh, it sure combines together.
It's really difficult, actually. To this, like, at this point, we haven't had any real major issues with it, which, you know, touch wood. But it was more a case of when we were looking into researching, talking to the technical team about how we'd run it, how it would work. They said, you can't do it live. And I said, I'm going to do it live.
Yeah. You tell Louie you can't do something, he'll take it as a challenge.
Just because I think there's no point in doing something if it's, well, for me at least, there's no point in doing something if it's not technically challenging, because I'm a technical person, I love technical work. I want to make it interesting and complicated, because it also elevates the show.
Yep.
It's not technology for no reason, but it's a really enjoyable challenge as well from a producing perspective. How do I get all these departments to work together, and how does that all slot in with our live show, our deadlines, all that?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a very big technical challenge, and also a very big operational challenge, especially with all the live graphics that I build out, and I get that guy over there who's off camera to operate against his will or something. But yeah, the main technical challenge for me has really just been building out all of the graphics that we use, which has been it has been a task, but at least they look good.
The elevator pitch for the graphics was like, we want
no parchment or wood.
No parchment or wood, and it was also, we want the audience to see how screwed the players are. Because when you've got big bad evil guy and they've got 1,000 hit points and they're not dying and everyone's running out of spell slots, that's the kind of...
It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet, but that's the stress I love in D&D shows, when they go, I've only got one, like, third level spell left.
It happened in the last episode, and Get Out almost died.
Yeah. But I love the stress of, like, oh no, are they gonna make it out of this? Is a beloved character gonna die? Like, and I wanted to be able to visually represent that in a live way that we're able to do because we're in such advanced studios.
So that's like a faith of the craziness I could shoot. It's one of those days where I think almost every time, this is the only time because we're going to end filming, but every time I play this, the immediate response is like, let's go again. But thank you both for coming down, volunteering, but then also appearing on camera and letting us know about your experience as RMIT volunteers, and also then your experience stepping, out of the comfort zone of being crew and running your own show, 5 Foot Step.